why don't we take a look at that road that you guys took and some of the early alpha footage? I understand that you put together a build and you did a bit of recording on that, and we talked about it just yesterday. Bogle, do you think you can play that for us? Yeah, we're going to introduce it right now.
Okay.
David, you brought with you a build from Alpha, a video.
To jest
What kind of things
Alpha?
are we going to see on this?
To jest logowanie z
What
Alfy.
actually
Coś
are we
takiego.
looking at here?
Okay, so this is a very old build that is actually from December 2012. So this is like 6-7
December
months into
2012, czyli
development.
sprzed 10
And,
lat.
yeah, it's almost 10 years old now.
Rozumiecie? Prawie 10 lat temu to był pierwszy koncept logowania w ogóle.
Never shown to anyone outside of the company. This is an
I nikt poza firmą tego nie widział.
Playtest our early
O Jezu, złoty.
version of the game. It's obviously very rough, but you'll see that
Ale
the
jazda.
mod is already there.
Ale ta gierka wyglądała
So
jak
you see
kwadrat
this
kiedyś.
is all placeholder artwork, obviously, a lot of it not finished, very rough. Icons actually downloaded from the internet.
Ale zobaczcie, modele postaci
because
się
we
prawie
didn't
nie
have time
zmieniły.
to make our own.
Te bazowe.
Yeah, you see us running around, gathering resources and yeah, trying to build up our first settlement.
Ale super.
Build the first craft buildings, we're crafting the first tools here. Selecting the first
Zobaczcie,
spells
pewne
for an
rzeczy
item.
się mocno nie zmieniły
And I
od
see them
tamtego
here.
czasu.
They're crafting and they're putting their skills on the items themselves. That's something we
Ale
don't have
zobaczcie,
to
to
do
wygląda
anymore.
jak jakieś, nie wiem, kurczę,
Right, yeah,
te
back
stare
then you had
gierki,
to select the skills
nie wiem,
when you
chociażby
crafted
jakieś
the
Hirosy.
item and you couldn't change them anymore. Nowadays you can just switch them at any time. Yeah, that's a big resource we're seeing right here, big resource node.
Also, something that's changed there is the way that the
Resource
nodes look
node.
completely. They
Mówił, że taki
very
wielki,
generic. That
tamto
kinda
to był
looks like
taki
our tier
wielki
one
surowiec,
stone.
którego zbierał. Siema Radzie.
Yeah. And
Zobaczcie,
that's
jak
the
pieski
wolf.
wyglądają.
Funny thing about this build is that there's no live animals here because we didn't have any mobs in this build. Originally, actually, we
Aha.
wanted to make the game without any PvE.
Na początku miała być gra bez PvE, więc wszystkie zwierzęta od razu były martwe. Nie było żadnych żywych zwierząt, więc można było sobie skórę od razu z martwych ściągać.
And here we see buildings in progress, where it looks
Zobaczcie,
like
building in
there was
progress
a
jest.
timer going on those
Normalnie jak
buildings.
jakaś RTS to
That's a
wygląda.
mechanic we don't have anymore. So this was more similar to a mobile game, right? Where you set up a building and it would say, okay, and now wait 3 hours.
Mówi, że to był jak symulator gierki mobilnej
That
kiedyś.
was a bad idea.
Że postawiłeś budynek i okej, teraz będę czekał 3 godziny, aż
And
się
they're
zrobi.
showing the building menu that they're using here, which is very similar to the building
No,
menu.
no
that we
gierka
have
wygląda jak jakiś
on
starożytny
the
RTS,
islands
nie?
that exist now, like the player islands and the guild islands. Very similar, but with a very basic coat of paint.
Yeah, it is basically the same menu still, right? It has obviously received a facelift, but essentially it is still the same menu. That's the player house right there, the tent you just saw. That's was basically the tier 1 player house that you could build.
You still get that on the island too, right?
Yeah, we don't have the tent anymore.
Ale to było
but,
10 lat temu.
We still have the player houses. So you see that a lot of elements are already there, right? We already had all of those ideas. And if you look down in the middle, there's the auction house icon.
Oh, that's the auction house icon down there. So you
Auction
have your
house gdzieś
inventory,
jest?
your auction house, and what is
Aha,
the third
na
one?
dole. Na dole, to, na środku samym to jest ikonka Auction House'u.
It's your home island. Yeah, it's some kind of home feature. Clearly,
Something like that, yeah. It's quite interesting, right? So this version of the game already has guilds. It already has an auction house, even though we're not showing it in this
Czy
video.
to już były gildie, był Auction House?
But it doesn't have mobs. Right?
Ale nie było
You clearly
mobków.
see where the focus of the game was back then.
all
Czyli
about
rozumiecie,
the
na
player to
początku
player
koncepcja była w ogóle
interaction,
zero
the
PvE.
guild versus
Wszystko
guild and
full
player
PvP.
versus player, and players creating the content, not the world itself. That you don't need NPCs if you've got players to fight.
Yeah, exactly. The red wall we just saw is actually a territory barrier. So we already had territories, and you could close the barrier to let others
Już,
in or not.
Już mieli terytoria, które
And
ta
the building right
czerwona
here we
bariera
see right now is,
oddzielała
the smelter
i można
building,
było
and you
ustawić,
see
że
that
ktoś nie może
there's
przez to przejść.
a heating system going, right? So you had to feed it with combustible materials and bring up the heat in order to smelt iron.
I trzeba było domki karmić?
Oh, and
And
now
now
we
we're
have
fighting.
PvP.
O, jest fight,
Yeah,
patrzcie!
we have PvP actually. You see again all
O
placeholder,
kurde! Zobaczcie.
icons, actually placeholder abilities.
Ale bazowo,
Pretty much,
bazowo
right?
te modele zostały do dzisiaj. Zobaczcie to.
But yeah, you
Widzicie
could,
tą zbrojkę?
you could
Widzicie-
already fight.
widzicie te bronie?
Targeting was horrible. There
O,
was
kogoś tam
no
zaciukali.
balance at all.
O
But
Boże.
there were already different tiers of items, different abilities you could use, and there was already full loot, right? When you killed somebody, you could already pick up all this stuff.
You are
O,
dead and you can respawn.
Yes.
cyk dyduwa.
All right, thank you guys for hanging out with us. On
To
that.
było fajne.
Robin, you were saying
Pograłem
earlier that it
więcej.
would be easier